Hi. To the people who are going to view this, my name is John Pedvaskus, and my family's nightmare started on November the 20th, 2011, on a Sunday night, at 10:30 p.m. on a trail close to the train bridge on the Red Hill Highway in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My son, Dustin, who was 2 weeks from his 22nd birthday, was walking with a colored man, Drew Reed, who he thought was his friend, on the trail. When Drew Reed stabbed Dustin in the throat with a straight blade knife and left him for dead. Drew Reed came back and saw Dustin on the highway trying to flag down cars for help. Drew Reed climbed a 6-foot fence, and while people were driving by, attacked him again, stabbing him 68 times. One car did slow down. He almost made it to the car, but the people got scared and they drove away. There were 3 911 calls made, and an eyewitness, the people in the car that slowed down, told the police they saw a young man with blood on his face. The police station is 1 minute away. After Reed left Dustin again, but dead the second time, Dustin managed to crawl under the guardrail right onto the side of the highway. He died there, bleeding to death, while people drove by, while he was staring at the cars with his arm up in the air. Like I said, this was Sunday night at 10:30. He was found the next day on the side of the highway at 7:30 a.m. Monday morning. We went to court. At the preliminary trial, they said they would go for murder 1. Reed confessed to killing him. Dustin had put a note on his Facebook that he was hanging out with this guy, Drew Reed. So that brought them right to him. This guy confessed. And they had the videotape of that and they played it. He'd also asked his friend, O'Connor, to help him murder my son. And O'Connor testified to this. So, first-degree murder. He planned it. And he climbed a 6-foot fence. Okay. I asked the homicide detectives why the police and the first responders did not go and help my son. They said sometimes it happens. I looked up protocols on 911 calls, and it says an unknown 911 call must be considered to be the worst case scenario, and it was. Just before we were to go to court, the Crown said they were going to do a plea deal to murder 2. I told them no, and they said it was not up to me. It was their decision. I called politicians and the Attorney General, Marilyn Mueller. I tried for a year before we went to court to stop this plea deal. Marilyn Mueller never spoke to me. She never answered any of my faxes. And she's the one that hired the Crown and all the Crowns in that office. I tried over and over and over again to get a hold of them, and they just give me the runaround. I would phone, send faxes. Nothing. Nothing would they do to help me. And why? Why wouldn't they talk to me? No one would. Most of the politicians didn't even answer me. And when I got a hold of Tim Hudak, he said because it was a legal matter, there was nothing he could do to help. Not even the head of the Crown, Tim Powers, would help. I tried to get him, and this guy just send me letters, and he was borderline intimidation whenever I talked to him. He didn't want me bothering them. They just wanted this all to go away, just to be shoved under the rug. I couldn't even get the media to help. It was like we were stonewalled. Like, I don't know why the media didn't jump all over this. They should have. Because this was one heartbreaking, terrible thing that happened to my son and my family. At sentencing, at this plea deal, of course, at sentencing, the judge never even asked where the police were. You would think she said, where were the first responders? Where was the ambulance? Where were the fire trucks? When they had all those 911? No, never even thought about it. They really picked Judge Gunn right, that one. She even said at one point at the court, she says, this was borderline murder 1. If this wasn't murder 1 after planning it, asking this best, what was? I've never seen anything like this. Went on in the courtroom. And then the Crown, Kathleen Livingston, told the judge that my son was lying in a ditch. That's why the police didn't see him. Okay, and here we have this right where, to the right of the cross, to the right of the front of that medium there, right on the side of the road where Dustin was lying. This is what it looks like, where it all went down. There is no ditch. I showed her a picture of where my son was lying, and she told me that was considered a drainage ditch, that whole area. Now, if the police had gone down there, I don't see why they couldn't have found him. He was right on the side of the road. Somebody driving by the next day saw him. Because of the plea deal, the police who got the 911 call did not have to go to court. I've never even been told who they are. I've never even seen these guys that didn't show up down there. I believe the plea deal was a cover-up for the police by the Crown. And here's a picture of Marilyn Mueller. She's the one I tried to get a hold of for a year. That wouldn't help me. That's what she looks like. At sentencing, Reed got 18 years. Then he can get parole, minus the 4 years he already served while we were being dragged through court. Court case after court case after court case. We had to go there. And this 14 years for what he done is not justice. I looked up protocols from the Crown, and a big major rule is called a conflict of interest. And this Marilyn Mueller would have known this. It's a conflict of interest is where the Crown is friends with anybody that has to do with this court case. And they were big-time friends with the homicide detectives and the Hamilton Police Department. And the Hamilton Police Department just wanted this to go away. They just wanted this to go as fast as humanly possible. Because the police didn't go to help my son. They should never have tried this case in Hamilton. I told the head of the Crown, Tim Powers, the one I said that was borderline intimidating whenever I spoke to him, that he should be in jail. And I sent this to him in a letter because he was sending me back letters, and he would not answer me. The judge should have known that this should never have been tried in Hamilton as well. And she never said anything about it. Just so you know, the police officers still have their jobs. And I'd just like to say, if anybody would like to help us on this, I would just like to say thanks. If you drive down the Red Hill Highway and you go up by the train bridge, you will see a cross there. And there's the cross. Dustin made that cross for our dog Max when she died, so I put it there for him. Dustin was only in Hamilton to finish off his schooling, and he had no criminal record. This has devastated our families on what happened to him, and the slander and lies that we had to listen to in court. This should never have happened to us or anyone else in the future who becomes a victim. I want to bring lawsuits against the Crown, Kathleen Livingston, the head of the Crown Office, Tim Powers, the Judge Kathleen Gunn, and the Attorney General, Marilyn Mueller. They all knew they did wrong. And I think they were shocked that I found out about the rules that they broke. If you would like to see how bad this is, you can go on Facebook, put in my name, John Bedbaskus, and this is Dustin's dad. And here's a picture of my son, Dustin. And I says, don't become a victim or a family of one, because you will be treated worse than the murderers. You have no rights at all, and this is not justice. If you would like to sign our online petition at iPetition/Justice for Dustin and Murder Victims, I would really appreciate it. And as it goes for any money that we make off this site, we are going to, like I said, trying to bring lawsuits against these people. I've already talked to a lawyer, and they can be sued. They are not above the law being dragged into court. Right now, I'm trying to get a hold of the RCMP to help me, but it seems that these police officers seem to all kind of stick together like buddies. So if anybody can help, I would really appreciate it, like I said. Okay, thank you very much.